Welcome to Pisces Tarot, and I am your host, Mimi Lightseer. Your business is my business. Today, we will dive into your business with a timeless relationship reading, which means it could be platonic, professional, or romantic. In this session, we will explore the overall energy of your reading, obtain cosmic insights to identify the topics, spill the tea on the energies involved, uncover the positives and the negatives while revealing the lessons that you need to learn, and suggest actions for healings and the best possible outcomes. Remember, this is a general reading, and you have found it when this message is needed. Please take what resonates and leave the rest. Remember, I am LGBTQ plus friendly, using pronouns for storytelling purposes. Lastly, please like, rate, subscribe, and comment. Let me know how this message is connecting with you. And without further ado, let's get into your business. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Pisces Tarot, everybody. I am your host. I am Mimi Lightseer, and over here at Pisces Tarot, your business is my business. And oh boy, we definitely about to get into somebody's business. Good morning to my guppies, my friends who are on the graveyard shift. Good evening to my international family. What's up to everybody watching behind the scenes on TikTok? Listen, if you're new to the Pisces Tarot experience, go ahead and put a star in the chat. If you're a returning friend, go ahead and put a fish in the chat because we want to recognize all of our friends. Good morning to everybody international, everybody who can't sleep right now. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today's agenda consists of an energy cleanse, which is a brief meditation and sound bowl cleansing, followed by some divine downloads or insight or an earworm, okay? Then we'll go ahead and get into this general energy reading, collecting some insights and observations, followed by the confirmation of everything of which I have told you with the tarot card reading. And then we'll bookmark everything with the final thoughts and close outs. Now, again, some of y'all been up all night. Some of y'all like me, y'all can't sleep. Some of y'all at work, y'all tossing and turning, dealing with people on a funky energy. The only way that we can get ourselves into a position of receiving is if and only if we are able to, just level set. So I want you to go ahead and find your favorite cooking brush, Lord Jesus. Cleaning utensil. What am I talking about? Cooking utensil. And I said it again, cleaning utensil. Some of y'all like brushes, some of y'all like brooms, vacuums, whatever. But whatever cleaning utensil you can find in the emojis, go ahead and put it in the chat because, baby, it's time for us to get ready to cleanse our energy so that we can prepare ourselves to hear whatever divine messages are coming through today that may be for you. All right, here we go. Now, before we move forward, let's take a minute to level set and ground ourselves. And the simplest way of doing this is by cleansing our energy through breath work and sound. We're going to take in a couple deep breaths, hold it, and exhale slowly. With each inhale, we want to invite clarity and balance. And with each exhale, we want to release any tension or distractions. We want to do this 3 times, y'all, okay? So, you ready? Here we go. All right, y'all. Now let's clear up any remaining stagnant energy by bringing us one into alignment with presence. We're going to do this with the help of our girl Boo Boo right here. Divine Spirit, I call upon you, Nashi, for your guidance and your wisdom during this reading. Please surround me with your light and your love. Help me to receive clear and accurate messages. May this reading bring insight, clarity, and most of all, understanding for the highest good of all of those who are involved. All right, y'all. Thank you. And amen. All right, listen. I want y'all to get ready to have a fun, safe, but honest conversation, okay? Listen. as a reminder, this is a safe space, and your honesty, your transparency, most of all, your engagement is appreciated. We have all been a fool in love before, and today it just may be your turn. So let's get ready for an engaging and dynamic time. Now, if y'all ready to get into this reading, I want you to go ahead and put those cooking emojis. Put your favorite food in the chat. Put your favorite food cooking emoji in the chat. Because I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm hearing two different things this morning. All right. So it's kind of interesting. I really don't even know what to say about this. But if y'all ready to get into this reading, let's put our favorite foods and cooking emojis in the chat. Favorite cooking emojis in the chat, because it's time for us to get into this business. All right. Here we go. Now, it is highly unusual, although I won't say like it never has happened, but it is highly unusual that I hear two earworms, okay? But the reason why I bring this up is because each day before I do a reading, I always take a minute to reflect upon the immediate energies the spirit is showing me, whether it's through divine messages, downloads, and earworms, okay? And today I have two earworms. And when I tell you, I don't know exactly how I feel about this, because I'm trying to understand, like, what sense does this make? And I guess maybe I'm just overthinking it or something like that. But I have two songs for y'all this morning. The first song that I am hearing is from a lady who is no longer with us. Her name is Aaliyah. Okay, the song was released in 2001 off of her final album, Aaliyah. Okay, the song is called Never No More. Okay, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I was a little bit struggling when I first heard this record, because I understand this record to be about physical and emotional abuse. Okay, the part that I keep hearing the part that I'm hearing from this song is, I didn't sleep that night and I held my pillow tight. Now trust me when I say you have been told, I'm telling you to never touch me no more. Never no more. Okay? So that's the first song that I'm hearing. Now, interestingly enough, as I was like noodling and processing what messages that may be coming from that, I also hear another artist coming in over this. I hear Mariah Carey's song from 2009, okay, called Candy Bling, okay? And I hear her saying, back in the day, we were in love. We're not in love anymore. But some days I sit back and wish we were in love again, okay? So when I was really starting to think about what this possibly could mean, I started to understand the bigger picture. I'm hearing both earworms because somebody is in a very, very complicated, complex situation. And let's be clear, I am never a proponent of any domestic violence, any emotional violence, any physical violence, financial, like none of that stuff, right? And we know that things of that nature can happen in a plethora of ways of how someone is controlling and manipulating. And I'm using my words very wisely, okay? So let's be clear, I am never going to promote any of that toxicity and negativity, but I also understand that people are in nuanced and very complicated situations with the people that they love for a variety of reasons, okay? So I don't understand exactly who this is for today, but you heard the messages, okay? Now, if y'all ready to get into this tea, I want you to go ahead and put your tea kettles in the chat, tea kettles in the chat, tea kettles in the chat, because I'm very curious about what is this about, okay? We got somebody that's talking about being emotionally and physically mistreated. And then we have another artist talking about how back in the day, she wished she wasn't in love. And the thing is, I guess it makes sense. If you're caught up in something and you are so predispositioned to how it used to be, and now you're looking up and this is not the person that you called yourself falling in love with, that can be very, very polarizing and very astonishing. So let's get into this because I want to know who is feeling this way. You know, whose business is this that we about to get into? I don't know, but let's find out. Here we go. Now, to be honest with you, I don't know why Spirit just said this to me, but I want, if you have ever been in a physical altercation with a mate or partner, past or present, I want you to put a black heart in the chat. A black heart in the chat. Now, when understanding energy, it's important to know that Spirit can talk to us in an abundant of ways. Sometimes he speaks to us through signs, synchronicities, coincidences, numbers, patterns, you know, just a variety of different things. Sometimes he talks to me through trees. Like when I'm looking at trees, like I just be getting all this information, you know, I guess maybe because it's the tree of life. I don't know, but not the tree of life, but it's reflective of the tree of life. Nevertheless, that's what I'm always picking up on. Okay. So what is the overall energy reading for today? You might want to know. Well, let's find out. The overall energy, and I'm seeing your black hearts. Thank you for sharing. Okay. If that is a current situation, can you put a 1 in the chat? If it's a past situation, put a 2 in the chat. All right. All right. Ears wide open. Ears wide open is the first card that we have for today. Okay. Ears wide open. And on this card, we have a fox. Okay. And so what is interesting about foxes is that they are very slick, very cunning. They come in all different shapes, sizes. But they're always planning. They can be very playful, but they cannot be trusted either. You know, they cannot be trusted either. All right. So ears wide open. Okay. Ears wide open. All right. You're finally hearing something and seeing it for what it is. Okay. Which is possibly why I'm hearing the first piece of the song, right? You better not touch me ever again. In other words, right? And I will be honest with you, as I've remember hearing that song for the first time and replaying that album, because back then we had albums, I really could not see myself listening to that song. It was such a difficult record to listen to because it felt sad to me and it felt very mistreating. Okay. Like it didn't feel like a very kind record. And as I was going back because I heard that song when I opened up my eyes and I was like, why am I hearing this song? And so when I looked up the lyrics, I was wondering in my mind, like, okay, I wonder if she was talking about her past situation with R. Kelly. You know, I mean, that is a wonder. It is a very heavy song. Okay. So what is the truth that we need to hear right now for our journey? I mean, it's just a wonder. Oh, okay. Why did blame just fall out? I accept responsibility for my well-being. I accept responsibility for my well-being. I accept responsibility for my well-being. Okay. Interesting. I accept responsibility for my well-being. Well, I guess that makes sense because if you really listen to the song holistically, she saw some warning signs of her relationship with this person going left and decided to not, you know, pay attention to the red flags. But let's be honest, we've all ignored red flags. I want you to put down in the chat a red flag. If you have seen red flags, hostile behaviors, toxic patterns, indicators, key indicators that things are going wayward with this person, or they're not stable, or it's just, I mean, everybody gives red flags, you know, like what's a red flag for you may not be a red flag for me. It might be a yellow flag. But if you know good and doggone well, when you look back in hindsight that you have ignored the red flags, I want you to go and put the red flags in the chat. All right. Now, guides of the hidden realms. What messages do you have for us? Okay. You may feel like you were being very naive about this situation. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the color green came out on this card, and that is standing out to me. That was the first thing I saw was green. Okay. So you may have felt very naive about this particular situation, and or naive. Okay. This card says a way out of the weeds, a clear way out, multitasking, getting organized, a way out of the weeds. Okay. So this is you trying to finally clear your path and be able to go ahead and be able to move forward, you know, in a situation from a different place. Now, a lot of times whenever we're talking about people that are in physically volatile housing situations, usually there is a plan that is being made, right? Because typically these violators, you know, constrain resources, and, you know, they're very controlling of your environments and things like that. So it could be that mental preparation that has to go with this. But I'm not sure, but that's what the card is saying. Okay. Now, and like, I literally am hearing both of these songs like playing on top of each other. So that tells me that someone was holding on to a false belief that things would change. This has been a repeated conversation, you know, like, I just don't understand why this keeps happening, or, you know, like they keep making it feel like it's your fault. Well, maybe if you didn't do this, maybe you didn't do that. It's like a very mind controlling thing. And it's like where someone is trying to be empowered to walk away from this situation, but also still holding out hope that things would change. Keep looking back. Okay. Keep looking back. Like, I wish we were in love. Like we were, okay, back in the day. But you were never really in love, okay? You were just bamboozled by the fox, okay? You were never really in love. You were just bamboozled, all right? Now, nurturing. I am a spark of divinity. Change me, divine beloved, into the one who accepts my body exactly how it is, seeing it as a vessel for your love. Fill me with your gratitude for this physical form. Let me nurture and care for myself in every way. Okay. Now, it's the body. Okay. So this is about nurturing. Okay. And a lot of times what's happening in these very toxic, abusive situations is that a lot of times they corrode the confidence, like the perpetrator corrodes the confidence of people. So this person may have made you feel inferior, made you feel like you, especially like if you have children and your body changes, you know, just always attacking you and doing things to make you feel like nobody else would ever want you. Okay. Again, it's every form of unhealthy, toxic, volatile, emotionally abusive, and a hostile environment. Okay. Very, very hostile environment. All right. I don't know who this is for this morning, but if this message is resonating with you, I just want you to put a white heart in the chat, okay? Because things will improve. Things will get better, all right? Now, how is this showing up for us in our day-to-day life? Solitude. Okay. Again, there is a reading of a book. So you may be taking a step back so that you can reflect. Again, make that plan. Understand the type of relationship that you're in, having some type of knowledge of how to fight back, how to prepare to walk away from this connection. But definitely coming out of the green zone. Okay. You are no longer naive. You are no longer passive. You're no longer unaware. You know exactly what's going on. You know what's going on, you know how it's happening, like you're seeing it, okay? You're seeing it, and now you're finally believing it. Now you're finally coming into that space of awareness. Like, this is very unhealthy, this is toxic, and I just can't, and I got to get out of here. But you're also in a space of like, dang, I wish we were in love, but you still haven't processed that this was never really love. Okay, you never really processed that this was never really love. All right, now, what is a sign that this may be for you? What is a sign that this may be for you? Okay, anchors, which is very interesting. So if you're seeing a lot of anchors, whether it be a tattoo, whether it be through like decor, whether it's on like brochures or anything like this is about your stability. Okay, so are you seeing how all of these things are coinciding? Okay, so this is about your stability, preparing yourself to be stable, but recognizing and accepting things for what they are. Now, as we prepare to shift to more personal insights, okay, please keep in mind that you need to focus on what resonates with you and leave what doesn't, okay? You would never go down to the little baby Foot Locker and buy the freshest pair of Jordans you can find and try to put them on your big grown foot, okay? Knowing that your baby toe, your big fat baby toe with that corn on it ain't gonna fit in that doggone shoe. So same thing here, okay? I mean, your bunion won't even fit in the shoe. I mean, come on now. Crusty feet of yours. All right, here we go. The first card that we pulled is the Spy card, okay? And remember I said initially, I'm not liking the direction this is going in at all. Do y'all remember in the beginning of this reading, I said usually when you're in these controlled environments, there is very manipulative. They're watching everything that you're doing. When I use the word controlled, I was referring to the spying, okay? And the Spy card came out, all right? Someone's got their eye on you. You are being watched. Do your research, okay? You are doing your research. So here it is again, research. This just came out with the Spy card. I'm sorry, the Solitude card over here. And now we're here again talking about somebody's watching you and you need to do your research. Okay, so this is like a real issue here for somebody. Now, and let's be clear, these types of volatile situations are not always male to female. It can be female to male. It can always be female to female and male to male, okay? Like, there's no gender role or however you want to put it, right? These relationships morph by different types of relationships, different dynamics, okay? And why did I just have a taste for like a canned peach? A canned peach. Like, you know how you make peach cobbler and you put like canned peaches in it? Who like peaches? Because this might be for you. Because I literally just saw a peach and now I'm tasting like the peaches that come in a can that you would put like in a peach cobbler. Almost like a peach cocktail, like how you would do that. But I'm tasting the peach, like the syrup peach. Not the authentic peach, but like the ones that you would get like in the processed peach. Okay. Release past burdens and embrace new beginnings. Okay. All right. This is about releasing. This is about releasing. Release past burdens and embrace new beginnings. Okay. So the messages are coming through. All right, the messages are definitely coming through. I'm telling you, like peaches, like those processed peaches. And I shouldn't call them processed because canned foods can be real foods that they just process and can for shelf life. But it tastes. I'm seeing like the syrup, the stuff that they put it in there to hold it and process it, like that type of peach. It's not like a peach out the produce section. It's like a can. All right. Preserved. Thank you. Thank you, Scorpio. Preserved. All right. Celebrate. You are being asked to celebrate your recent accomplishments, no matter how big or small. Do something special to commemorate the moment. You deserve that and so much more. Okay. So Spirit is encouraging you to celebrate right now. The fact that you have this sudden awareness, that you are finally paying attention to the signs, that you are growing. You recognize that this is unhealthy. This is volatile. This is toxic. You need to get out of here. You've been doing your research. You've been preparing yourself. You've been trying to process. You're doing the work. Okay. You're doing the initial work. But don't underestimate the severity of what it's going to take for you to really overcome this situation. Okay. And I don't know what that's about, but that's what Spirit just said. Time, delay, procrastination, too busy. Okay. So time may have been an issue. Again, when you're talking about people who are in these domestic terrorist situations, and I don't even like using that word, but that's the best way that I can think about this, right? Is that you're tormenting someone in every way, shape, form, or fashion. Okay. This is about time. This is about precision. This is about planning. Okay. You may be procrastinating because, as the statistic says, that it takes, on average 7 times before a person who has been mistreated will leave their mistreater. Okay. So I don't know if that's a part of it, but time did come up with delay, procrastination, and too busy. Okay. You also may have animals. Okay. You may also have animals that you're scared to leave or don't want to leave without, or, cause I just, for some reason, just got like an animal, like a dog. Okay. So you may be having, an animal as well. Okay. That you're worried about leaving behind. Yeah. All right, what is the T? Too many. I have to sneeze. Whoop! Look, y'all, look. Y'all see what it say? Let me hold it up so you can see it real nice and good. Okay? Y'all see what it say? Ain't skit. They ain't skit. Ain't skit. Whew. What lies beneath this? What lies beneath this? Y'all, I'm telling you, Spirit is coming through. Fighting for what you love. Claiming what is yours. Love is a battlefield. But why are we specifically talking about this? Y'all see this? Fighting for what you love. Okay? I can't make this up. If you're hearing what Spirit is putting down, I want you to put the fire emoji in the chat. Okay? The fire emoji. When we look into the broken mirror, what do we see? Okay. No contact, block, silent treatment, cut off all communication. Okay. So possibly, okay, possibly there is a no contact situation. Okay. There is possibly a no contact situation. Perhaps you have tried to start to make your break from this person. Okay. Realizing that this is an unhealthy, toxic, volatile situation. It's never going to be productive. It's never going to be what you thought it was. It's never going to turn around. It's never going to change. This behavior is hereditary in the sense that this is what they grew up seeing. Okay? This behavior is something that they grew up believing this is normal. And usually when you start talking about people in relationships, this happens a lot with people. We repeat patterns that are subconsciously indoctrinated in us by how we saw our parents, our siblings, our upbringing, our environment. Okay. So this person in every which way of the word is a product of their environment. Okay. All right. The true emotion here. Oh boy. Pop the question. What in the world is going on? Somebody's thinking about popping the question, or they may have popped the question. What? I don't even know what to say about that one. What's the true crime here, Spirit? Whew! Run away. Run away. Run away. Listen, Spirit just said, nope. What is the yin and yang? We going someplace. Self-love, okay? Intentions. Focus on the desires of the heart, self-worth, expansion, and manifesting. Okay, so this is about self-love, okay? This is about you learning how to manifest,
the things that are for you, focusing on the things of the heart, which could be also like while you're researching, trying to heal, trying to repair and undo the damage that has been done. But for someone, it may be way too long. It's extensive. Okay. We almost there. All right. What is blocking this situation from growing? Let's be honest. If you are confused in this situation, I want you to put the question emoji in the chat. Giving too much. You are depleted because you give too much. You need a balance of give and take. Okay, which we know is not present in this situation. All right. You're doing too much. You're giving too much. Okay. Last but not least, is it love in this situation, Spirit? Is it love in this situation? Give me a solid yes or no. Okay. Right now, the most loving thing you can do is let me go. And we got the rose thorn bush here. Letting go. Okay. So Spirit is coming through real loud and real clear right now and letting you know that this is the end of this. It should be the end of this. All right. So let's figure this out. Start dropping down those zodiac signs in the chat. Start dropping down them zodiac signs in the chat. I want to know whose business are we getting into today? All right. Person one. Person A, I feel like is in a space of trying to realize that they need to release this situation. Okay. They are being watched right now by this person. They are in no contact with this person right now. All right. They're trying to run away from this person. They need to focus on their self-love and they need you to let go of them. All right. Person B, we know here they're not skit. They like to fight for what they quote unquote love. Okay. Mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially. They may even be considering or may have popped the question to make it feel more tangible. All right. Giving too much. I'm going to put this here because in their mind, they feel like them being quote unquote passionate about the relationship is an indicator of love, when that's not really an indicator of love. That's just your delusional, warped mind seeming to make it feel like it is love. It is not love, okay? Love should never mistreat anybody or anything to quantify what that is, all right? This person may also be busy all the time, don't have a lot of time, always on edge about things because they don't have a lot of time. And I'm going to put the celebrate card here too. Okay. I'm going to put the celebrate card here too. Don't know why, but I just need to balance it out. All right. So if y'all ready to get into this reading and find out whose business we're getting into, and I know this is dark and I'm so sorry. I can't help. This is where the spirit is going, but you see it falling out in the cards. Just like I told y'all before we got here, I told y'all this is what I was picking up on. All right. So if y'all ready to get into it, I want you to put in the chat those magnifying glasses, because it's time for us to figure out whose business we finna get into. All right, here we go. Ironically, I have on my closure hoodie. Did y'all notice that? right, who is person A, Spirit? All right, person A. Where are all my water signs? My Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. You are coming in as the 8 of Cups. Put the water sign down in the chat. If you are Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or your person is a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, okay? You're coming in as the 8 of Cups upright. Disappointment, abandonment, withdrawal, escapism, walking away, leaving behind. I cannot make this up, y'all. Y'all hear this? All right. Person B. Who is person B? Now remember, I do my readings for Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. So unless you know where you and all of your placements are, you can't say what is or is not for you, okay? Just listen. Be entertained. We be in everybody's business, child. All right. Ooh. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Where are my air signs at? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. If you an air sign, put the clouds in the chat, okay? You or your person is an air sign. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Put the clouds in the chat. We have the 2 of Swords in reverse, okay? The lesser of 2 evils, no right choice, confusion, indecision, information overload, okay? The lesser of 2 evils, like, oh my gosh. All right, now, if y'all ready to get into this reading, I want you to put the coffee cups in the chat, because, child, I'm ready to get into this. I want to know, what is this about? Let's make sense of all of this, all right? If y'all ready to get into this reading, I want to see those coffee cups, tea cups, whatever your beverage of choice, water bottles, wherever you are. You might even want alcohol this morning, okay? All I know is I want you to put your favorite beverage, but I prefer coffee. That's my favorite beverage. All right, here we go. Now I'm going to apologize up front. If y'all hear somebody snoring, that is my animal, okay? Sleeping, knocked out. Sound like a grown man that works 16-hour shift on their feet all night. All right? So if you hear it, it's the animal. All right. I think she heard me talking about her. All right. What is going on with my Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio dealing with this Gemini, Libra, Aquarius? All right. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, you are coming in right now as the World card, okay? You are coming in with major arcana starting out this morning, all right? With the World card. I definitely feel like for you, as I said from the very beginning, things are coming for you in full circle, okay? You are coming into a space where it's like, you know what? Excuse me, I'm not happy here, but I'm celebrating all of my accomplishments, big and small. I needed to go through this so that I can see who you are, how you are. I need to understand for myself that this was not healthy. And the thing is, while you're preparing yourself to move on, and while you're very disappointed and you're just like, yes, I need you to leave me alone. The best thing that could ever happen is that I run away from you. Like, even though you've come to this conclusion that this situation is beyond fried, okay? Like, there's no coming back from this. There is no, anything here, right? This is like, again, this is a huge accomplishment for you. And remember, I said I'm gonna put the celebrate card here because I need to balance it out. But really, this ideally would have went to person A, okay? But I feel like you're coming into a sense of awareness where you're feeling proud of yourself, even though it feels like you don't have much to be proud of at this point in time. Does that make sense? It feels like you're recognizing that things need to change. You're surrendering. You're taking back your power, your control, your stamina, your knowledge. Okay, like everything is coming in full circle for you. And it feels like it's beyond yourself because you never had this type of power before. You never had this type of wherewithal. Like in the past, you will be stuck in a spin cycle. And now you're just at this space where you're just like, I'm good. You know, like I'm good. Like there's nothing here that is going to keep me holding back onto this situation that is dangerous, is toxic, is unhealthy, it suffocates the life out of me. It's not really love. Like you have a different level of awareness now than what you have ever had before. And it's a peace that comes with this. Okay. So if you are resonating with person A right now and you're feeling the peace of letting go, the serenity of moving on with your life, can you put white hearts in the chat? White hearts. Now, person B, this Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, they are coming in as the Page of Cups in reverse, okay? The Page of Cups in reverse. My attention is immediately drawn back to the ain't shit card. And I'm trying my best not to, use profanity, but that's what the card says, okay? Now, this person may have withheld a lot of actions and deeds, okay, from you. Oh, I don't like this person's energy. This person is coming through as the type of person who acts like they don't even like you. Okay? They're coming through as someone who is very hostile, temperamental. They're coming through as somebody that you just never really know their type of mood that they're in. They feel very moody. They feel very controlling. Well, that makes sense because I got the lesser of two evils, no right choice, confusion. Okay. So this person is very touch and go, very hot and cold, very up and down. Like you can't really put your finger on them. And it's a very confusing energy. But holistically, when you look at this person, you just like, at the end of the day, who you think you are and what you really are two different things. And just for the record, I want you to know that you really are not worth 3 bananas in an African village after a soccer game. You are really not. Oh, I ain't even gonna put my Gemini, Libra, Aquarius is on Front Street about this, but all I'm gonna say is, if you know what this feels like to have someone who withholds communication from you, withholds inviting you in, okay, that's what it is. This person is not open. They're not sincere. They don't invite you into their life. So the things that are making them moody and confrontational, like you don't really have a basis for, they just react, okay? And it is unnerving, which I'm not surprised here because Gemini, Libra, Aquarius do have difficult times communicating. They're not the best communicators. Even though they think in their mind, they will have whole conversations in their mind about something, and then they would act as though they've looped you in on the conversation, and they really have not. Okay, so I'm not surprised that there's a lack of communication going on here. But I also feel like this person, again, is very withdrawn and very disconnected. They're very cold. And I feel like this other person is like the catch-all for the shenanigans. So what I mean by that is the things that they can't control in their everyday life, they feel powerless, okay? So the things that they can't control in their everyday life is being projected and taken out on person A, okay? And I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. But that is where that energy is transferring, okay? So it's like you had a bad day at work, you're coming home and you're taking it out on the dogs and the cats, okay? That's not okay. They ain't did nothing to you. They just been over here meowing and barking. You know what I'm saying? So like, what are we doing here, all right? Whew. Okay. If you know what it feels like to be excluded from intimate thoughts, feelings, and emotions, I want you just to put the X in the chat, the red X, okay? If you know what that feels like, because I said I'm not going to put Gemini, Libra, Aquarius on Front Street, but I'm just saying, if you've ever been in a relationship with somebody where you felt excluded, you weren't being looped in on what was going on, I just want you to put a red X in the chat. Now, what is favorable? We got the Lovers in reverse. Okay, we got the Lovers in reverse. Major Arcana. Okay, Major Arcana. Now, for those of you who may not be as tuned in, turned on, and tapped into tarot, the Major Arcana is very important. You have 3 buckets of Major Arcana. You have things that change the way you think, things how you show up in the world, and then your overall transformation and how you evolve and become as a person. The World card falls in that 3rd bucket of things that transform and change your life. So this was definitely a change, a life-changing, defining moment for you, person A. The Lovers card is about you as a person, and it changes the way that you think, okay? And so this situation was very manipulative, very conniving, very blinding. Okay, very blinding. All right. And like I said in the beginning, with the ears wide open, that's what foxes can do. They can be conniving. They can be very cunning. They can be very playful. They can be very strategic, right? I mean, like, to know all the different species of a fox and how they move is very astonishing. But in this instance, with this Lovers card in reverse, there has been a buildup of tension and frustration in this connection, possibly because things have become stagnated, possibly because things are stale. But for the most part, things should not be progressive in such an elaborate, unhealthy, toxic, volatile situation that induces pain and suffering on somebody else. For some reason or another, we live in a society where we equate pain with love, right? And I struggle with that construct because I don't feel like if you love something, it should be painful. I think you would be disappointed, but not painful, right? You're disappointed because people are not perfect. I have my own mind. I have my own interpretation, my own thoughts. And what I do, I may or may not have any intentions on inflicting hardship or undue just onto somebody else. However, consequentially and conversely, you have a mind of your own. You have your own thoughts and feelings about things. You have your own interpretations. So what my intention was and what your interpretation is are 2 different things. It could be received or not, right? It could be understood or not. But in this instance, this person has conditioned you to believe that pain and suffering is a part of love. And when I think about love, the fullness of love, I think about how as a mother loves their child or as a father loves their child, you're disappointed with their behaviors, but you're always going to love and support them and pick them up and nurture them because that's your child, right? And to me, that shows me the fullness of love, right? It's a patience. There's a tolerance. There's a growth that comes with that, right? And I think love is such a beautiful thing because love is so tolerant. Okay. So this person has manipulated and controlled you into thinking that the hurtful things means that they love you. And it's the exact opposite. Okay. It is the exact opposite. A person who loves and cares for you, who wants to be with you, who wants to nurture you, they're collaborative, right? They're understanding, they accept, they motivate you. There's ease, there's accountability, right? There's a peace, love, joy, and happiness that comes with that. In this connection, you lack all of the above. Okay, you lack all of the above. And it's chaotic, it is toxic, it is destructive, it is damaging. Okay? It is belittling, it is condescending, it is volatile, it is temperamental, very turbulent. And it feels like this person uses their anger and hostility as a flex, okay? As a flex for how they move. And I just heard for some reason or another, you ought to be glad I came home type of thing, right? They're very controlling, very dominating, and very disrespectful. Okay? Very disrespectful. And I believe the reason why this is coming up in the favorable space is because you needed to, again, experience the fullness of all of this, okay? Had you not been in this situation through instance after instance and had example after example, you never would have really seen this person for who and what they really truly are because you didn't believe it. You know, like somebody can tell you, but they can't tell you like they can show you, right? I give an example. We all go out to eat at some point in our lives. We've all visited a restaurant that had raving reviews, 4.5 stars, all of that shebang. Instagram popping, all of that. But when you go in person and you eat the food for yourself, you have a less than desirable experience. Much is left to still be desired. And you be sitting there like, this ain't about nothing. Like, if you've ever had that type of experience, I want you to put the face palm in a chat. Because that's how you feel, right? Especially when it's an expensive meal. You know, you've been all gassed up about going. You had a reservation. You done bought you a new outfit. And then you go there and you do all this. And then it's just like, I don't understand what the hype is. Like, what? You know? That's kind of like how it feels in this instance, okay? There's a huge disconnect, and it makes absolutely, positively, undeniably no sense how they can even speak of themselves in a way. Okay? They just can't speak of themselves in a way, all right? Now, this has been very frustrating and confusing for person A, but I'm going to be honest with you. Now that they're starting to say this, now that they're starting to do it, you now have come to the spot where you're just like, you know what? Just stop talking because you sound stupid.
What?
All right. Now, what is consequential about this? What is problematic about this? We got the Five of Swords in reverse. All right. What has been problematic and consequential about this situation is going back to what we talked about in the beginning, that inner conflict of knowing that it's time to walk away. It's time for you to leave this alone. But it also goes back to the reflecting of, we used to be in love. Like, whatever happened to this person? Whatever happened to the man that I used to value, I used to cherish? But here's the thing. This person never came to you in that way to begin. You understand? Like, this person never presented the person that you think they presented. The person that you met, the person that they told you they are, the person that they actually became are three different people. Okay? Three different people. The people they keep trying to make you seem like they're capable of becoming is a total different version. And it is so mind-boggling and so confusing because there is an intimidation, there's threats, there's all of these things to just really wear you down and like I said, corrode your confidence, remove your, just like it is a horrible way for anybody to have to live their life. And person A is coming into this conclusion of like, I was so naive. Like, how did I not see the signs? How did I not know?
What the this cannot be.
But because again, you feel like you love them. Okay, I'll give you a very, very, very public case in point. For those of you who follow the whole trial of Diddy and Cassie and what's going on, and you heard what happened yesterday in court, you get a quantifiable example about what I'm talking about how people are mistreating someone but have made you somehow confounded and believe that that is a form of love. And once you do this, then you earn this. You know what I mean? But the gatepost continuously moves, okay? So this is where the inner conflict is coming in. Because it's like you're realizing that all that glitters isn't gold. Okay, you're walking on a landmine at any point in time. Things can go left either way. And you never know what's going to be explosive. You never know what's going to be the thing that's going to tip this person off. It's like you almost are walking around on eggshells. And that by itself is an indicator that this is an unhealthy and toxic situation. However, because you are so predispositioned to this nature now, you've conformed to the volatile nature of this beast. Okay. And I'm going to call it what it is. There is a beast here. And that's where the conflict is coming in. Because you really truly feel like you love this person. But now that you're educating yourself on what love is and is not, now that you're empowering yourself to what love is and is not, you're really understanding how damaging this has been. They thought that they can stomp you into submission. That's not how submission works. I am so overly exhausted with people talking about submission. Submission is a earned right that a person gives the more dominating person in a relationship. You earned that. Okay? Now, for those of you who don't know what that is, let me educate you real quick. Just real quick. Let me just show this to you. Because I think that this is important, okay? Submission is a form of an emotion, okay? Feelings become emotions, okay? Now, when you think about submission, okay, there's two polarizing ends of the spectrum, all right? You admire, you trust, you accept something, you're comfortable with it, right? Therefore, you willingly give in to the leadership and authority of this other governing body. That's point A. Point B, on the other end of the spectrum, is I am so terrified, I am fearful, that I'm apprehensive, that I'm going to do whatever they say because I don't want to see the consequences of me not cooperating and paying attention. Do you see how polarizing that is between space A and space B? When I love you, when I admire you, I trust you, I accept you, I am willing to surrender to the authority over whatever it is that you're choosing for us to say, do, talk about. Okay? But on this other end, I'm so terrified of you. I am fearful of you. I am so apprehensive. I'm on eggshells that I am giving in to what you're saying and doing all the time. Because I don't want to fear the consequences of what may happen if I don't. Okay, it's that simple. It is that simple. Okay, that it is really that simple. This person wants you to have version A of submission, but they're giving you an environment and subjecting you to an environment of environment B. You have a healthy form of confidence and submission. You have an unhealthy form of lack of confidence and submission. You understand that how polarizing that is? If you have never heard of submission or viewed submission in that way, just raise your hand in the chat. Just put your hand in the chat. If you've never thought about and or heard of submission in that way, I want you to raise your hand in the chat, okay? Now, what is this trying to teach you? Too many cards just fell. The Ace of Pentacles. Okay? This is trying to teach you that real love is not controlling, manipulative, dominating, and domineering. Real love is fruitful, not toxic, not poisonous, not damaging. Real love constitutes growth, empowering, clarity, wisdom, stability. Okay? This person that we're talking about here feels like they can create these false narratives of what this is to control and dominate your perception, which is also still abusive, okay? And it's a controlling, right? They control the money, they control the possessions, they control what you do, how you make your money. They're controlling every facet about you. So what Spirit is trying to teach you today is that real love does not look and move like this. Real love is victorious. It is comfort. It is stable. It is joyful. Yes, real love has its complications, its ups and its downs, its obstacles. But that's the beauty of real love, because real love grows with you through those things. These things are self-sustaining and self-sufficient. Like, there is a joy, there is a kindness, which is something that is not in this relationship at all, that comes with love. There is a compassion that comes with love. Okay? There is a level of empathy. There's a level of sympathy. And all you're getting in your version of love with this person is apathy, a lack of care. And Spirit is telling you that they needed you to see all of this in the richness and lack thereof, who this person is, so that you can finally let go. Grieve the loss of the character of the person, i.e. man, i.e. woman, that you thought this person was. It is literally a character. It's not even a character. It's more like a caricature. Okay? It is the illusion of who you thought this person was. And you need to be willing to accept that it is time for you to cut this off, and it is time for you to move on with your life. Be abrupt, be abrasive. I know that you have to plan your leave, but Spirit is telling you very clearly with this runaway card that it is time for you to move around and go do something else.
Run, Forrest, run! Run, Forrest!
Now, what is it that you need to do to heal? We got the Knight of Wands. Okay, in reverse. This is about you releasing what I just said, that vision, that character of who you thought this person was in your mind, okay? This person very well, as I've been saying all throughout this reading, put on an image, put on a show, created a narrative that never really existed. And as I've explained to you, this was like the ultimate love bombing. That's the best way I can put it. In the beginning, you were very much so love bombed. And you didn't see the setup. You didn't see that all of these things were the showering. Like, that's the image that you keep holding on to. Remember when I was talking about the two earworms that I'm hearing between the Never No More with Aaliyah and the Candy Bling with Mariah Carey? You're holding on to this. Can we just get back to the way things used to be? And the news flash is here. It'll never be like how it used to be. You need to wake up, smell the coffee, and understand that was a show. It was a facade. The dream that they sold you was never going to come to pass. It was never going to materialize. It was never going to be anything of what you thought it would be. It never was. It was a fantasy. Okay? And that's the best way I can say it. It was a fantasy. You bought a one-way ticket on a fantasy ride that has been out of control. You looking for, you think about it when you get on a roller coaster. You be like, oh, this is the big one. And then you go, can you imagine just being on a roller coaster that don't stop? Just, that's how it feels in your life. It feels like you're on an emotional roller coaster that is out of control and ain't stopping no time soon. What do you need to do? Well, two cards just fell out. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse, as well as the Four of Swords in reverse. It's time for you to wake up. It's time for you to realize and acknowledge that the reason why things are not being progressive for you is because this is not a situation for you. And again, I go back to that's what Spirit has been trying to show you. This is not what love is. This is never has been what Spirit, Divine Spirit, when he thought of love, this is never what he thought about it was. This is every version of the word HATE. They do not like you. They do not care for you. They don't even pretend. Remember I told you I described this person from the beginning as being very cold? And I've said that before. But they are definitely coming through as a very grumpy curmudgeon, not well liked, not likable, and they don't like you. The Magician. What you need to do is start empowering yourself. And that's where we go back to the preparation. That's where we go back to the solitude, okay? That's where we're going back to the release. That's where all of these things are coming in to play. You are definitely in a space where you are re-educating yourself about what this should and should not look like. Like the light bulb has finally come on. You finally got the wherewithal. Something just finally did not seem to sit right with you. And once you got that wake-up call, once you got that awareness, it made you come to realize just how bad things really have gotten for you. And the sad part is the light bulb was never out totally. It wasn't just screwed in all the way. Okay? Like that's literally what happened. Now the light is on. At the bottom of the deck, we got the Four of Swords, okay, in reverse. So it's time for you to wake up and come out of this, all right? It's time for you to stop allowing this person to mistreat you, manipulate you, deceive you, be physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, and for some of you, even intimately misusing of you, okay? A, B, U's, okay? This is what we're talking about, okay? Now, all right. This is about you again, taking back your power, learning how to be protecting of yourself, protecting your energy, protecting your perception, right? Trying to be at peace, but also knowing that this is going to require a lot of perseverance, which is also why you have elected, as you should, to go in no contact, block, silent treatment, cut off all communication. I feel like if you have not left, you will be leaving randomly, running away, saying that you're doing something as simple as going to the grocery store. Like, remember I said in the beginning of this reading that there would be something like a plan of some sort, okay? There is a plan of some sort of action to get away from this connection. And in that, okay, in that, we do have, I'm seeing the person who is making this preparation, they're making a dart for it, okay? They're making a dart for it. It's going to be like something like, I'll be back, I'm going to Walmart. And then when that person calls you to find out where you are because you've been gone for 3 hours, and it's like, oh, that was thunder. But it was like, I know you ain't still at the Walmart. Like, you know, oh, wait till she get back, she gonna get it. Like that type of energy. And they're calling you.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
Okay? This is how this is going to work. All right? You have strategically and calculatedly been making your escape plan. All right? This is going to require a different level of perseverance. I'm not going to tell you that this is going to be something that is easy, because it is not easy. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you don't be afraid. I understand you have every right to be afraid. But you also have every right to have a healthy, safe, loving, productive life that is free of fear, free of abuse of any kind. You deserve it because you're worthy. Don't look at your body. Don't look at your age. Don't look at yourself at all and be like, well, who's going to want me like this? Somebody is going to want you just the way you are. The things that you learn to hate about yourself, the right people for you will love those things about yourself. Let me give you an example. I was T-boned in a car accident about 3 years ago. And it was solely by the grace of God that I did not pass away. I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you. And the car door came all the way in. Okay, came all the way in. And so when the car door came in, the car protected me and shielded me. Like I was able to walk away, but my leg was burning immediately. I had a burning in my leg. I didn't know if I was bleeding because I was wet. I didn't know like what was happening. And so, I ended up, I guess, when the car door came in, it punctured like a piece of my thigh. But it didn't break the skin. It just like damaged the tissue, if that makes sense. So on my left thigh, I now have a pocket that sits right beneath the butt cheek of like fat or something like that, right? And I mean like, oh my God, it hurts so bad, y'all. I guess it was the tissue dying. I don't know. But it hurts so bad. And I have been so insecure about it because when I wear my swimsuits, it looks like my booty is a little bit lopsided, right? So that's my vanity because my butt cheek is here. And then like right underneath it is this secondary pocket of fat, okay? So when I tell you I'm very self-conscious about that, and it's almost like to the point where I would just be like, you know, a little self-conscious, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I don't want nobody thinking I got a BBL because I definitely didn't. And if I did, I don't want them thinking I got a botched one, right? But you will be amazed how many people I have shared that story with. And when they see me, they grab it. And it's like they love it. And it's like they nurture it like it's a part of my butt. But really, it's a scar from an accident that I have, right? And I have been so self-conscious about it. I've been thinking about going to get it removed, whatever. And I'm just like, okay, if everybody else can accept and love this part of who I am, why can't I? Similarly, for women who have stretch marks because you've given birth or you gained weight, you lost weight. You know, I know the internet wants people to think that stretch marks are unattractive. You know, nobody wants somebody with their skin like that. There are so many men who love stretch marks. They don't think that you are a real woman if you don't have stretch marks, especially if you've given birth. They would rather you to have stretch marks than they would you having marks from cosmetic surgery. And if you listen to men, not on the internet, but men in your life, and you ask them these questions, they say it all the time. They would rather have more to love. If you got a pouch, they're going to grab that pouch. They'd rather have more to love than to tap something with, as they say, their words, not mine, 2 dots on the back. You know? So I'm not body shaming anybody, but I'm going to encourage people who think so low of themselves because you've been built and conditioned to have low self-esteem, that somebody will still love you despite of your shortcomings and your flaws. Because remember what I said, true love is all encompassing of all of those different things. So I don't want you to sit here and be like, well, who's going to want me because I got this? And listen, you better get butt bookie naked and be like, this is who I am. Saggy titties and all, okay? My panties is rolled up underneath my stomach and all, but it is what it is. This is who I am, okay? This is who I am, and this is what type of time I'm on, and this is what I am about, okay? That's what we're talking about, all right? That's what we're talking about. You learning how to love yourself for who you are and not being afraid of showing up in the fullness of who you are. And in that example, I think about Cassie again, Because the moment that she escaped her betrayer, and that's what I'm going to call him, she came into an understanding of clarity and came into somebody who appreciates and nurtures those things about her. And I'm just using her again because she's on a very high profile case right now and is very public about what happened. But I want to use that as an illustration so that you know that you too can find true reflections of love once you make the decision to move on. All right. Nine of Wands. This is about you putting up boundaries. This is about you putting your foot down. This is about you saying, I'm going to stand up for myself. I'm going to fight for myself. This is about me. Okay. I am taking back my power. I am not going to allow you to make me feel inferior. I'm not going to allow you to intimidate me. I'm not going to allow you to do anything to hurt me. You can try to find me on social media. You can try to do all the things that you want to do. You can try. I mean, because people know you, they know. This is what makes it so difficult to leave these complicated domestic situations, because they know you, they know your friends, they know your habits, they know where you go, they know your family members. But I feel like this particular person, whomever this is, you are so well thought out and so well prepared that once you make this run for it, you're going to be free. And I love this for you. I celebrate this for you. I'm happy that you're coming into this place where you're putting your foot down. I also just saw that somebody may be arming themselves with protection, educating themselves on how to, or familiarizing themselves how to use a firearm. They're being licensed and carrying, and good for you. Good for you. Okay. Good for you. I don't want you to overthink this at this time. Okay. I definitely don't want you to overthink this. All right. I want you to know that you have everything that it takes, everything that's required of you. You can do this. You can do this. You have zero reason to be afraid of this person. It's time for you to take back control over your life, over your destiny. But this was, I keep hearing this was very good for you to see and to feel this. And I think that this will be eye-opening for you, that you have also had similar traits in a past partner as well. So what I'm also gathering is that you too may have also grown up in an environment where this type of behavior was accepted and tolerated. Okay? But this is not about fighting for what you love. We fight differently, not physically. It's going to be a very easy decision to make. There is no pontificating. There is no juggling. There is no going back and forth. You're either going to stay or you're going to go. And you're going to make the lighter decision, okay? Which is to walk away. That's what makes this heavy, okay? Because you know that you got to do the right thing. You know what you got to do. It's difficult to stay. It's difficult to leave. Choose your difficult. But for you, your difficult is going to be, I'm putting myself first. I'm leaving this behind. I'm going to choose my hard. I'm going to choose my hard. Okay? And I am going to choose me and not be intimidated, not be afraid, not be fearful, not be doubtful. I'm going to believe in myself and my capabilities to be able to weather this storm because I love me. I am now aware of what it is that I've subjected myself to for the duration of this connection. It is unhealthy. It is toxic. It is volatile. I'm not deserving of this. Neither is this person worthy or deserving of my love, my kindness, my compassion, my empathy, my this, my that, my the other. But you are taking accountability for allowing yourself to stay in this situation, right? That is a difference between blaming yourself because you're not to blame for someone else's toxicity, right? But you are accepting accountability for allowing it and responsibility for the outcome of how this has punctured your quality of life, okay? But again, this is all a part of your healing. This is all a part of your healing, okay? And the Judgment card is at the bottom of the deck. All right? You're no longer afraid to let go. You don't care what people are thinking. All right? You're not holding back anymore. And I love this for you. I love this for you because this is a long time coming. You're worthy and you're very much so deserving of this. So with that being said, all right, because I know this is a heavy, difficult read and I don't know exactly who this is for. You can let me know that yourself, you know, like in the chat if you want to, or in the comment section below. But if you're ready to see how this story is potentially going to come to an end, this timeline with this particular person, I want you to go ahead and put your paper, pen, and notebook emojis in the chat. The paper, pen, and notebook emojis in the chat. Because it is time for us to get out of this business and talk about the potential final outcome. Okay? So if y'all ready to go into that, put your paper, pen, and notebook emojis in the chat. Because we need to know, like, are you going to stand on business? I believe you are, but are you? Here we go. Now, as we talk about potential final outcomes, I say potential because nobody can predict free will. Only the Almighty can predict free will, okay? But I can tell you what the energy says, okay? And I feel as though now that you know, this person has underestimated the power of your mind, the power of what happens when you make up your mind. This person did not know that you could be this determined. They didn't know that you could be this stubborn, that you could be this resilient, that this committed, this persistent, this, you know, they didn't know this, okay? They just didn't know, all right? But you got it. You got it. You got it in you. It's about you. You know how to do it. The moon. There's a lot of mysteries. Things that are unknown are being revealed to you. And this is where you're getting your confidence, honestly. So your intuition may be at work right now. Your intuition may be sharp, potent, and key right now. Your intuition may be talking to you through dreams, through signs, through synchronicities. It's like spirit is guiding you, okay, through this turbulent situation. Yes, it seems very difficult, but if you're tuning into your intuition, I feel like spirit is guiding you on who to talk to, when to talk to them, how to talk to them, what to talk to them about. Like the plan of escape is coming through a divine plan, okay? Things that you would have never thought to ask, the places that you would have never thought to go. That's what's going to make this departure so mind-boggling to this other person. Because spirit is telling you exactly how to go. Okay? And this is definitely going to be coming through in the space of your unconscious. Okay? You're just going to have this deep knowing, okay, about what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. Okay? That's what's going to happen in this instance. Now, we got the Three of Pentacles. Okay? The Three of Pentacles in reverse. You're going to have to be quiet about this. You're not going to be able to partner and collaborate with a lot of people during this time. This is going to have to be something within you. The people, it's almost like you going underground. Okay? So I don't know if you know of any programs that help people who are in these David Victor type of situations. Pick up what I'm putting down. David Victor type of situations, okay? But there is going to be an underground network of people that you're going to be collaborating with to help aid, okay? But these are going to be people that you're not going to be able to collaborate with outside. So like what I mean by that is, for example, you may not be able to tell your mother that this is what you're planning on doing, right? You may not be able to tell them and loop them in, but you know, a lot of things are going to have to become very discreet. Okay? Very discreet, all right? But it's for your benefit, okay? It's really for your benefit. Yeah. As you get closer to this, you're going to be very scared. All right? You're going to be very scared because all of this stuff is going to happen very quickly. Okay? You're going to be very scared about how you're very thought out and detailed about the plan, but as time narrows down for you to make your big escape, your big leave, you may be very afraid about how fast the time is going. You may want to try to procrastinate and backpedal, but it's happening when it needs to happen, and you need to follow the plan. Have the plan, stick to the plan, and don't change the plan, okay? Let the plan be what the plan is going to be and stick to it, all right? Don't get scared. Don't get cold feet. Don't start trying to look back, talking about, oh, back in the day we was in love. If I could just give him one more chance. Don't do none of this. None of this. Get out your feelings. Stick to the plan. Work your plan, okay? Don't you look back, Sarah. Don't you look back. We got the Two of Pentacles in reverse. Once you make this decision, you are no longer going to be thinking about this anymore. Like once you free yourself, that's going to be the it. That's going to be the it of all of this. Once you free yourself, you're no longer going to put yourself in a situation where this is tolerable, that this is palatable, that this is like none of this, right? You're no longer going to be going back and forth about this. You're going to be standing firm on business. And again, I'm going back to what I said in the beginning about empowering yourself to overcome this obstacle in your relationship. And it really wasn't a relationship. It was just a situationship that you were confounded with. All right. Whew. At the bottom of the deck, we got the Eight of Wands again. So this is something that's happening fast. Okay. This is happening fast. I don't know why I just saw like a little baby in a car seat, but I did just see a little baby in a car seat. So I don't know if you have a little one, and that may be part of the interpretation here, that there is a little small child, like a daycare or something like that. I just saw like a person dropping off a baby to the daycare, or either telling somebody that they're going to pick somebody up from the daycare and not coming back. Like that's how planned and detailed it is. Okay. I even see a person switching cars. Like they have a rental car that they switch in. Like it definitely feels like the person who is leaving almost has like a movie plot plan for how to escape this David Victor situation. This is very bold. This is very bold of you. This is why you have to have courage. And this is why you're getting afraid. And I also feel like you've been rehearsing. I feel like you have been quietly timing yourself, planning like your moves. Almost like how an athlete practices. So like what I'm thinking about is like the combine, right? And how they time how fast you can run. So like you're practicing how fast it takes, how many seconds it takes for you to get from this period to this period. I feel like you're counting and calculating that as well. Like you're very detailed in the minutia of how to get away with this. You're definitely rehearsing this, but you're doing it discreetly. You know what I mean? Like you're doing it discreetly. You're doing it where it's in plain sight, but they don't know what you're doing. Okay? I even saw you counting steps. Okay? Like counting steps. Noticing where the creaks in the floorboard are. I mean, like when I tell you, like you're planning, okay? You're planning multiple ways of escape. You have a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C. You may even be practicing lifting cans or jugs of milk, things around the house to build your stamina, to build your muscles so that you can help fight and combat things that are, again, are in plain sight. Doing things that will prepare you for battle, but not letting them know that you're arming yourself for battle. Does that make sense? Plain sight. Like if this is a milk jug, you probably doing stuff like this, lifting the milk jug, building up your muscles, okay? Building up the cans, doing stuff like this to build your muscles, your capabilities. What else? Trains may be significant to you at this time as well. Trains. Maybe you live in a heavily populated area where either you take the train or there's trains by you, or you're going to be taking the train to go somewhere. But trains may be important to you during this time as well. The train may be a method of escape. Taking a train and going somewhere, but a train is important for this as well. Whew. All right, y'all. That is all that I have for y'all today. I know that this was dark and this was heavy. This was not where I thought we were going with this, but I kind of suspected that with the earworm today. I'm just being obedient because I don't know who this is for. And let me just say this, because I feel like people think that, and this could just be my own insecurity about it, but I think that a lot of people think that I'm making fun or making light of situations when I come and I do these readings. And if you follow me and you listen, despite whether or not I'm talking about you or not, if you follow me, you see where I always follow the energies of spirit and what he's showing me and what he's telling me. And what I am telling you is I knew this morning from the time that I opened up my eyes until now that this was about a David Victor situation with that first earworm. And I didn't want to noodle on that because I promise y'all, I have been asking, can we please have a love story for once? Can we please get some folks that's in love? Somebody who's excited about being with somebody. And the reality is, that's not what's going on in the collective. So either it lands, it resonates, or it don't. But I tell you guys all the time, don't make something be about you that's not about you. If you ever go back and watch the playbacks of the readings, I tell you in the description box who and what I'm talking about. You know, I tell you. Because you're watching the playback, you get the opportunity to hear. But when I'm doing it live as I am now, I don't know where this is going. I'm just being obedient to what I am hearing, seeing, feeling, and acknowledging. Okay, that's it. I can't control what cards come out. I can't control how the energies fall. I can't control what I'm seeing, hearing, feeling, and tasting. I'm still trying to figure out, what does any of this have to do with processed peaches? Maybe you packing a lunch. Maybe that's all you can afford to take with you on your journey is a can of processed peaches. Maybe that's what you're taking with you. Maybe that could be what you're lifting to strengthen yourself. I don't know, but I just saw a peach dipped in syrup and I tasted it and it was sweet. I saw that in my third eye, by the way. Yeah. I always include in my description box as well the number to the unaliving hotline. So if you feel like you're in a space where you're wanting to unalive yourself, I want you to call and get help. The number is 988. Okay, 988. I need to look up some resources for David Victor and include that in the description box as well. And also take advantage of the local nonprofits in your area. You may need to go to like a library or some type of third party place to do research on this, because this person, again, spies and controls everything that you say and do. So I don't want you to leave a track record of you researching these types of things, domestic violence communities or places for people to go, you know, like that type of thing. Like, I don't want you doing that at home on your own computer. I don't want you looking for this on your phone. You need to go to a library or do like word of mouth type of thing to get the information. Also, if you have school-aged children, when you drop your children off at school, ask to speak to a staff, not just any staff member, but like an administrator. Those are mandatory reporters, which means if they are made aware of a situation that a child may be endangered, they have to by law report it. Okay? I know that's scary, but they also have partnerships with resources in the community. That's that word of mouth thing that I'm talking about. They can also point you in the right direction with nonprofits that can help you get housing, you know, money, shelter, things like that, right? And also, it's important to know too, like once you tip this out, if you do have children in school ages, that you're going to have to immediately unenroll and move the child around. So you're going to have to prepare your child if they're at that age where they have phones and technology and talking. Like, this is the whole thing. This is why you need help. Okay, this is why you need help. All right, because this is a whole ordeal. And this is also why you're getting overwhelmed and scared at the last minute, which is why I told you don't overthink it, because this is going to become very taxing and how to be very detailed and very calculating about how to make your escape. However, you can and you will do this. You can and you will overcome this. You have done more difficult things in your life before. This may be the most difficult, but you're not incompetent. You can do this. You can do this. Trust yourself. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to your children. If you have children, you owe it to your children. What else? Word of mouth. I keep seeing word of mouth is going to be very important. For some of you, you may be building a relationship with people at the school. Like I keep seeing like an administrator, like a principal, assistant principal, someone that is trustworthy, that has to respect privacy, but also can connect you with other resources. Okay? Oh, child. This just gave me the drain that I need so I can go to sleep. And I'm not saying that like in a negative way towards you. That's why I'm here, so I can get ready to go back to sleep. So thank you so much for tuning in today, y'all. I really do appreciate it. Now, with that being said, I want to thank you so much for tuning in to the Pisces Tarot Experience. I know that this was a heavy, dark read, okay? It was not within my intentions for this to be that way, but it is what it is. And for some reason, that was the message that Spirit had for somebody today. And I don't know who you are. I know y'all like to get in my inbox and tell me about it later. But I really sincerely want to thank you so much for joining today. And don't forget to subscribe to become a part of my growing community on YouTube. You can find me on YouTube at Mimi Lightseer, and keep an eye out for even more engaging content coming your way. Remember, this reading is here whenever you need a little bit of guidance, so feel free to save it and replay it at any point in time. I love to hear from you, so drop a thought in the comment section below and let me know what resonated with you. And if you enjoyed today's lesson or reading, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Now, if you'd like to do a personal reading with me, I'm currently booking at PiscesTarot.com, so please don't hesitate to reach out. A huge thank you to everyone who joined the conversation today, and a warm welcome to all of our new subscribers. Thank you to all the people who gifted me not only your time, your talent, but your treasure too. All right. Now, this is the most important thing I got to tell y'all. I tell y'all this every day, but it's for real. Everybody is fighting a battle that you cannot see. So remember to be kind, patient, and gentle with others as much as you are yourself. How people treat you is not your business, but how you respond is. Leave a little bit of love everywhere you go, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Have a good day. Bye.